Guys, I just wanted to give everyone a full breakdown on the brand new stadiums that are going to be coming up here in the NFL. There's two stadiums that are officially going to be happening. They're breaking ground soon. And then there's a few more I wanted to talk about that potentially could be in the works later, maybe within the next decade or so. But first, we have the Tennessee Titans' new stadium. It says the Tennessee Titans shared renderings of its new potential stadium, which would encompass 1.7 million square feet with a capacity of approximately 60,000. Now, guys, when talking about the seating, 60,000, that's a smaller stadium. And I really think this is going to be the trend with the new modern stadiums. There's going to be a lot of social areas. The capacity is going to be down, just 60,000. That would be one of the smallest stadiums in the NFL. And then for some of the key designs, it says there's exterior terraces and porches with views of Nashville that will serve as a social space during event days. A circular-shaped, high-tech, translucent roof. So they are going with an enclosed dome roof stadium, but apparently it's going to be a clear roof so you can see through it. And again, guys, Tennessee, it's not really bad weather, but this is the shift that we're seeing with most of these modern stadiums. They are taking the weather out of it because they want a better fan experience. Nashville, it does get a little bit cold during the winter months, but it's not like a northern city. So, I mean, even taking a look at like LA with the SoFi Stadium, they're all going to these controlled environments. And I think the compromise you reach with the dome is making it see-through so you can kind of see out in the sky. It's not completely enclosed. My personal opinion on all of these new dome stadiums that they're going with and trying to improve the fan experience, I think domes are just straight up ugly. There's really nothing, that's as simple as I can say it. If you want to improve the fan experience and you want to have a controlled 65, 70 degree temperature, yes, it will improve it in that sense. But in terms of actually looking at the architecture of a stadium, they are just simply ugly. That's my opinion on dome NFL stadiums. That's my opinion on dome MLB stadiums. Other features of the building not pictured will include a 12,000 square foot dedicated community space that could be utilized year-round for educational opportunities, nonprofit events, and other community-minded purposes. So there is that. So overall, guys, they're planning to break ground on this new Titans Stadium in the fall of 2023, and it's going to be opened in the football season 2026. The cost of this will be $2.1 billion. And again, the capacity is right around 60,000, including the standing room. I believe the seating is 55,000, but if you include the standing room, it goes to 60,000. So a smaller stadium. Right now, they're saying it's going to be turf. Of course, there's a major issue with some of the turfs in the NFL. They're talking about the turfs causing more injuries. So I believe how that whole situation with the turf is going to be worked out. There are certain type of turfs that will be banned by the NFL, but turf is still going to be a thing within the NFL. They're not going to turn every stadium to grass because there are certain turfs that are better than others. They will ban certain turfs, but turf will still be a thing in the NFL. That's just my opinion. But overall, this will be the home of the Tennessee Titans officially opening in the 2026 NFL season. And also Tennessee State, the FCS team for the NCAA football, college football as well. Just when you look at the stadium, I think personally it is very bland. Nothing against it. It looks bland to me. And it also looks like it should almost be a retractable roof, but I don't believe it is based on what I've read. I just think it's a roof that allows natural light into it. But there are a few renderings that almost looks like it shows it could be a retractable roof, but I'm sure it's not. Retractable roofs cost, I think retractable roofs cost around $500 million if they wanted to add that onto it. So I don't think they're doing that. But either way, personally, I think it looks like one of those fake Madden stadiums, that you can. When you pick a new franchise in Madden back in like 2015, 2016, I used to play Madden, and they would allow you to pick like a custom generic stadium. To me, that's what it looks like, to be completely honest. And then the other new stadium that for sure 100% is confirmed coming also in 2026 is the Bills' new stadium. It says on March 28, 2022, it was announced that a deal had been reached between New York State, Erie County, and the Buffalo Bills for a 63,000-seat, $1.4 billion stadium coming to Buffalo in 2026. So 63,000, again, another smaller stadium. And you can take a look at this one. Some facts on this. On August 31st, 2021, the Bills submitted their plans. It's right around $1.4 billion, so it's about half a billion dollars less than the Tennessee Titans stadium, and it's right around 60,000 to 63K seats. Very comparable in seating when you compare the new Titans stadium and the new Bills one, both ranging right around 60K. That's probably the new sweet spot for many of these modern stadiums. And this is another one that will apparently include a bunch of party decks and standing room only social areas, which is another thing that many of these modern stadiums are trying to do to improve the fan environment. Now, one of the biggest things, one of the hottest topics with this stadium and what we've seen in the news, of course, it is funny, I'm talking about this right as the Buffalo Bills game gets moved because of a massive snowstorm. It's not going to be a dome stadium. It's not going to be a retractable roof. What they're doing to improve the fan experience, they're making a canopy design around the outside and in of the stadium to protect most of the fans from the elements, but it is open air, so it's going to be cold, and the stadium will receive snow. So the actual field is not covered by anything, and apparently it was a big debate. What were they going to do? Were they just going to go with the dome? I mean, look at Detroit, for example. The Lions, Detroit has horrible weather this time of year, but nobody even comes close to mentioning it because it doesn't matter, because they play in a dome and they've played in a dome for so long. Look at the Minnesota Vikings playing in, it doesn't matter. And the Bills apparently, with kind of how their city is, with Buffalo, they wanted to have the elements there, which is something so rare. So they kind of tried to, help the fans a little bit by putting these canopy half roofs around. You guys can see the overall look of it. I got to be honest, it looks similar to, if you compared these side by side, just the overall design, how they're kind of both two deck approaches. The Titans Stadium and the Bills Stadium, both of their new stadiums, to me, look similar. Now, the roof is different, but just the way they're designed, and again, you've got a big upper deck and a big lower deck, and I don't know, it's just like they had the same architect or something. It's weird, but I would say I like this stadium a little bit more than the Titans' new stadium because at least it is open air, and I think the canopy look is a unique look. It also costs less, not that that matters, but it costs $1.35 billion. The Titans is around $2 billion, and I would guess the Titans is probably, in terms of the overall fan experience and the exterior of the stadium, probably a little bit better, but there is a pretty cool rendering of the exterior of the Bills' new potential stadium. It looks like it's going to be glass all around the exterior of the Bills of the Bills stadium. So that is cool. So those are the two NFL stadiums that are officially coming to the NFL, both, I believe, in 2026. And then looking at the other team they probably need a new stadium more than anyone else, the Commanders. And you can see this model of a massive dome, the Washington Commanders' potential new stadium. And it looks like New Orleans is Superdome, does it not? That's what it looks like to me. And of course, they're possibly doing a dome. Nothing is confirmed, but it says NFL insiders cast doubt on the new Washington Commanders Stadium by 2027. Well, if they want it by 2027, they probably have to have everything ready, the proposal, all of it probably passed by next year, and then they can break ground in 2024. My projection, they need a new stadium in the worst way. The current one that they have, it's the worst in the NFL by far. It is a complete trash heap. So I think the Commanders are going to get something done, and they will break ground by 2024. I would expect an announcement sometime next season, probably in 2023, where they'll actually decide on a rendering, because right now they haven't. And they're also expected to get a new owner. So when they get the new owner next year, I would expect the new stadium to be announced. I'm sure the NFL looks at the current Commanders facility and their stadium, and it's really a black eye. It is terrible. It is not up to standard. So there's going to be pressure to get those funds raised and find something, whether it's privately funded, whether it's, I don't know how it would be funded, but get the funds, get the actual proposal ready, and get them a new stadium. They are the other team. Also, you do have Chicago. Apparently they're going to be at Soldier Field through, I believe, 2032, because they have like a contract through those years. But there has been the rumors that they want to move to a new place, and we will see if that ends up happening. Possibly Arlington Park, apparently, where they would be wanting to move. But that would be probably significantly down the line in 2032 or 2033. There are no renderings. It says Bears face multi-year wait for possible new move and a possible new stadium in Arlington Heights. So those would be the main teams I would focus on. We have two stadiums that are official, and they're both coming in 2026. The construction on both of them has not even started yet, so we do have a while if you are interested in seeing a potential new stadium. Both of them coming in 2026. And then if I had to predict, I would say the Commanders probably comes and opens in 2027, maybe 2028 at the latest, if they really struggle to fund the new stadium for the Commanders. But I would expect 2027, because their stadium is so bad right now. It is horrible. But guys, that is just an update on the future NFL stadiums here over the next few years. Make sure you follow me on Twitter. Link to that's always in the description. I'm, of course, the Depressed Ginger. Thank you for watching.